What's up, guys? What's cracking? Ryan, also known as 40 Gator News here, coming at you with another picks video for week 7. I forgot to do week 6. Sorry about that. It's a pretty good thing I didn't do week 6 because um, I did not do good. It was my worst week, only getting 7 right. So I dropped from 3rd overall out of 84 people in my pool to 10th, and luckily for me, everybody else didn't do that good either, and I'm still only 3 behind. So let's go and get started. Sorry I'm making this video kind of late, but there's a game tonight, Thursday, the 14th. South Florida at West Virginia, 25th. Favored by 11.5. I just don't see West Virginia scoring a lot of points on this very good South Florida defense. And it's going to be a really low scoring game to me. I'm seeing 14-10, 17-10, 17-14, something like that. Pretty low scoring. And I do have South Florida at this one, even though it's at West Virginia. Possible South Florida win. Then we're going to go ahead and skip to Saturday. So Boston College here in Tallahassee at Florida State. Florida State favored by 21.5 points. This is an upset alert for me. Anyway, not just because I'm a Florida fan, but Boston College usually plays Florida State very, very well. Florida State favored by 21.5 points. I think their offense is clicking and their defense is in rhythm. But after coming off a big victory in Miami, they could possibly be looking past Boston College for whoever they play next week. I know it's a good NC State, and that could cause them not to cover, so I have Boston College in this one. Next is Illinois at Michigan State. Michigan State 7.5-point favorites. Obviously, the Illinois playing the Ohio State Buckeyes very tough. Michigan State coming off a huge victory over their in-state rival Michigan. I do not see Illinois getting this one close. See Michigan State winning by 2 touchdowns, so covering. Here's my second favorite team, Texas A&M. They're playing at home versus Missouri. Texas A&M 3.5-point favorites over Missouri, and I do have them winning because hopefully Gerard Johnson fixed his problems. Obviously coming off 2 very close and emotional losses. I think they're finally going to pull this one out, and they're going to beat Missouri by maybe a touchdown. Next game, probably one of the best of the week, Arkansas at Auburn. Auburn, 3.5-point favorites. And I see Arkansas, they've already played tough opponents. They've already played Alabama. But this one on the road at Auburn, I just don't see this one close. I see Auburn winning by a good touchdown or maybe a touchdown field goal. So I see Auburn covering. Next is Iowa at Michigan. Michigan coming off the tough loss to Michigan State. They dropped all the way from 13th or 17th into unranked, which is pretty surprising. And Iowa's only 2-8 in the past 10 years at Michigan. That'd be whoever Iowa's coach name is. But hopefully Ricky Stanzi, a senior, can finally get a win on the road to Ann Arbor. It'd be huge. It can put Michigan down even more, and it can give Iowa a huge advantage in the Big Ten. So I do have Iowa covering the 3.5-point spread. Next is Oklahoma State at Texas Tech. Texas Tech 3.5-point favorites. A 4th straight game that I just talked about involves 3.5-point favorites. I see this one is going to be very, very high scoring, but Texas Tech's offense is way more high power than Oklahoma State's, and I see Texas Tech winning this one by a touchdown. Next is Texas at Nebraska. Nebraska only 9.5-point favorites versus a very struggling Texas team. I do expect Texas to keep this one somewhat close until the second half, maybe 4th quarter, and Nebraska will take it from there, covering that 9.5-point spread. Next is a tough one. BYU at TCU, and TCU's 29.5-point favorites. Last time they played Colorado State, and they were 29.5-point favorites. They covered. And then last week they played some opponent, and they were 39.5-point favorites, and they actually covered. I don't know really what to think of TCU, but seeing this one at TCU, I think BYU is probably going to look for an upset. I think maybe TCU will win by 4 touchdowns, 28 points, but they're not going to win by 30. Next is South Carolina, Kentucky. Kentucky come off an almost victory against Auburn. They've come off some very emotional losses. Obviously, the one at Florida, where they're looking to try to win for the first time in a couple of years, and then losing on a last-second field goal to Auburn really hurt them. And I think that they're a little lucky because South Carolina just beat the #1 team in the country, and they're probably still celebrating about that somewhat. I think they're going to go into Kentucky thinking that they're, hot shit, and then possibly even lose to Kentucky. So that's why I have Kentucky. I actually have Kentucky winning this one, and finally getting a very good SEC win. Kentucky's not a bad team, guys. They have a lot of talent around them, and the only thing they need to work on is defense. If they get the defense situation worked out against the South Carolina team, you're looking for a high-scoring Kentucky team to win. So I give Kentucky a lot of respect, and they're going to win this one, in my opinion. Next is Utah at Wyoming. Wyoming's obviously always on the picks a lot. Playing Texas, TCU, now they play Boise State. Now they play Utah. Utah just went to Iowa State and won by 48 points. And now they're going to go to Wyoming, ranked 11th. And Wyoming is not a very good team. So I do see Utah covering this one as well. Next is Iowa State at Oklahoma. Oklahoma 23.5-point favorites. Obviously, Oklahoma has had a lot of struggles. Last week, I think they had a bye week. Every other week, they've only beat one opponent pretty badly, and that's Florida State. When they play the ranked teams, they show up. When they don't play ranked teams, they seem to struggle, and I find that struggle here against Iowa State, and I don't see Oklahoma covering the spread. Next is McNeese State at LSU. LSU 42.5-point favorites. If they don't cover this, I'll be pretty shocked. So, I mean, of FCS team, it's just, you need to cover, and hopefully they will. I see a blowout, obviously, and they actually do cover this one. Next is Mississippi State at the Swamp versus Florida. Florida coming off a very emotional loss as well to LSU, and the week before that, Alabama. As long as Florida can get something offensively going, they're a little confused out there, and they don't seem to know what to do. Hopefully they got that somewhat worked out over the week of practice and play at home against Mississippi State. Hopefully come up with a win at homecoming with the 8.5-point spread, and I do see them winning by 2 touchdowns. Next is primetime game of the week, Ohio State at Wisconsin. Obviously, Wisconsin is 40-4 in the past 10 seasons in Madison, Wisconsin. I see that going 41-4 actually. Ohio State struggles on their one road game they've had this year, which is I don't like. They've only had one road game. This will finally be their second, and I do see them losing this one and losing their one power pretty quickly. Next is Arizona at Washington State. Washington State, a very bad team. Arizona coming off a loss, and now they're 23.5-point favorites. I expect it to cover it, but cover it barely. Possibly a 48-21 game, something like that. Something that gets them just by the spread. Next is Air Force at San Diego State. Air Force only 3.5-point favorites. This is a little shocking to me because I don't know anything about San Diego State. I thought they were a pretty bad team. Air Force is a very high-powered offense coming off a huge victory, and they will cover this one as well. Next is Boise State at San Jose State. San Jose State at home, 30.5-point favorites to Boise State. Boise State's a high-scoring offense. I just don't see any chance for Boise State not to cover Boise State. Next is Ole Miss at Alabama. Alabama coming off a road loss. They're 20.5-point favorites. This is one of those games Ole Miss is probably looking to win. I don't see them winning, but I don't see Alabama covering by the 20.5-point spread. I'm seeing winning by 14 or 17. Ole Miss in that one. Next is Oregon State at Washington. Washington, obviously looking for the upset over Oregon State, as Oregon State upset Arizona last week. This week, Oregon State will go into Washington and beat Washington. Jake Locker, I see, will get shut down this game, and Oregon State's offense is just too high-powered. Last but not least, Nevada at Hawaii. Nevada 7.5-point favorites versus Hawaii team. I actually do see Hawaii winning this one, giving Nevada their first loss of the year, and I just see Hawaii getting a home victory that they need. And I have the tiebreaker. Total points is 77. It's going to be a high-scoring game to me. All right, guys. Sorry I had to rush those last couple of games, but my time is running out, and I got to go. So, this is Florida Gator News here, also known as Ryan, and I'm out. Peace.